It's so authoritative when you do it.
Well, I'm noticing that if I don't hit it hard, then it doesn't give a good spike.
I have a confession to make about that.
What?
It messes with my normalized function.
Just cut it off you can cut it off the audio, right?
Yeah. So I compress the crap out of it. I'll stop doing that.
Oh, that's because
I'm making it hard on you.
That's why. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Because like the raw spike on the cameras is like this,
Yeah.
but yours is all like
Right.
like it.
Yeah. It's the smoothing of the audio.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll start doing that afterwards. Sorry.
You could just
Whoopsie.
no, you couldn't cut it off because I need the whole file.
Yeah. No. I'll
Yeah.
I just won't I won't process the entire waveform. I'll slide.
Thank you. Thank you for not processing the entire waveform.
Yeah, I'll start after the whack, or the clack,
the clack or the whatever.
Post whacker.
Oh dear Lord.
Okay, sorry, Mom. Welcome back to the regular dad, picking up with part 2 on apologies and forgiveness. The first part was apologies, so
apologize.
You know, this is why we need an RIAA license, so that we can just punch in music like this. So if anyone would like to donate, about $2,500 a year, so we can maintain that license and just use music.
Shout out to Laterno Praise Team when I got to be on the praise team with Shiloh.
Yeah,
and all the kids. And Zach from One Republic was a member of the praise team.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. Shiloh put together a pretty. Can I say this? Kick-ass team?
I think you can.
I can say she did.
I mean, it's the regular dad. I mean, know, we're.
Shout out to Shiloh Terrell, Nate Norton now.
There you go.
Well, for a long time now, who put together an awesome praise team at Laterno back in the day. So
let's see here. We'll pick up what you suggested this book, and we finally made it, and then you actually texted us about this book. Our little, the wives, our group chat. But you're like, you've got to read The Anxious Generation, and I'm almost through with it. Okay, I was listening to it this morning, but now I'm like, holy crap!
I told you, dude. I told you.
But so there's the kid component of phone-based life, right? And then the adult component.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, all right. Well, I'll start my day. I mean, I wake up, and there's two things. I go in, grab a sip of water, and wash down a few pills because I'm old, and this. So so I get my pills, and then I go have a seat.
Right.
We don't have to say where, but I mean you're gonna know where.
Yeah.
And so that's a great time to scroll. But I'm also starting my day.
Yeah.
With the dopamine thing. So I stopped that.
Good for you.
Yeah, there's a magazine called Garden and Gun, which I love to read, and I rarely take the time to do
Garden and Gun.
Yeah, it mostly deals with like
gardening.
Low country, deep south, high society. Really.
Oh, got it.
Got it. Okay. Now, not hoity-toity, but it's just, it's again kind of a modern, an outdoors version of Southern living. You might say.
Okay.
Nice little camp chairs that you'd have around.
Yeah, so like the same products that I would have seen in the overlanding world when I was camping in Utah. It's like all these
luxury
high-end,
overlanding. So it's the people that might be familiar with the brand Orvis, luxury hunting and stuff like that. So
luxury hunting.
But they talk about, they have events and you get together, and it's not anything pretentious.
Yeah.
Being able to be there kind of already says that you are of status. So I don't go to any of these events because I can't just fly out to Kentucky and go to a bourbon tasting on a Thursday.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing, total side note here, the craziest thing I ever saw when we were camping. No, there were some cool things out there. One of my friends runs a company. Shout out to Paul May, EquippedOne.com.
There you go.
Equipped Expedition Outfitters. He's been importing the high-end stuff like...
is that the guy where you got the seat covers from?
Yes.
The interior? You were talking, that
Escape
was a big...
gear.
Yeah,
Escape gear.
This is no joke stuff.
They put Carhartt to shame.
Yeah. Sorry, Carhartt. Our sponsor for a long time now.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry. Anyway, so his stuff, like we bought a knife from him once. It was made by Snow Peak, which is probably one of the best knives we owned for a while, and it was in our camp truck because it was like I think it was either 50 or I think it was $150, and it was a fold out cutting board, small cutting board with the knife inside, and it was like, so that kind of stuff. Yeah. National Luna fridges, freezers. Like you'd be out in the desert, Paul'd go over to his truck, pull out, hey, you want a popsicle?
Well, why not?
Out in the middle of the desert. Like, it's amazing. Anyways, one of his buddies, this guy named Bob, had a 60 series Land Cruiser, which for non-Land Cruiser aficionados, that's the wagon, the old 80s wagon style.
The good stuff.
And he opens up the back and he's like, do you like a glass of wine? And he opens up the back, and I kid you not, he had a wine rack with the glasses set up in the back of his truck.
Now I can get on board with this.
And again, we're out in the middle of the desert, high desert,
That's camping.
It was awesome. So anyways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So y'all check out, that was a long way around the mountain, but y'all check out The Anxious Generation and
Check out The Anxious
Generation. The phone out of your own hands, and then
it's pretty mind blowing, isn't it?
Too. Yeah,
and he's so like, it's not harsh.
No.
Jonathan
Haidt, not judgmental or anything.
No, not at all. He's just presenting the
data. But you're kind of like when you hear it, you're like, oh God, I have to make changes right now. Yeah, forgive me.
Exactly.
It's serious.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, anyway, social media profiles. Check out. Let's see who do we want to do? These guys have been around forever. The Holderness family.
Yes.
They write all the songs.
Did you see the latest Target ad?
No, I don't.
It's got the dads of Target in it. They're all four there.
That's fantastic, awesome, dude. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Holderness family.
Yeah. So check out the Holderness family. And then the My Little Shih Tzu ladies. Okay. Now, let's see if I can describe this accurately. There is a guy. I feel like
you should say that Shih Tzu, or you're going to have to sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Shih Tzu. Not Shih Tzu. Sorry, Mom. The animal. Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu. Holy Shih Tzu. There's no way that I can do this and make my mom proud. Okay. Sorry, Mom. My Little Shih Tzu ladies. Now, this guy...
Is that like My Little Pony? I'm sorry.
It's exactly like that. Yeah. Okay, so my Shih Tzu ladies... Now you got me all messed up.
This is entertaining.
This guy gets his audio from another guy, and I don't know who that is. Okay, but he's taking this audio, and it's one guy, and he go the creator of the audio is one guy, and he goes back and forth with different Snapchat filters. Okay, and it's like he's talking to like one of his kids, because it's the dad and the kid. Okay, and one of the kids' common name is Derek, right? And so they're going back and forth. Now this guy takes this audio, and then he goes back and forth, makes his dogs look like they're having a conversation. Okay. And it's hysterical because of kind of the blank expressions that dogs will give. They'll kind of look to the side, or whatever. And he gets this great.
That's awesome.
It is a great overlay for the content. But as I understand, even the creator, the original guy that does the audio, loves the fact that this guy is taking that audio and repurposing it like this. He's like, man, this is awesome. Yeah. Kind of like the guy that does
So he's clipping audio from another guy's channel and putting it over his dogs?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So the dogs have the video, and the audio's already in place. Yeah. So then he just cuts the dogs, video reactions to fit. But it is so funny. Yeah. But anyway, that's called My Little Shih Tzu ladies. Okay, because I don't want Mom to email me. You said shit. No, I didn't. I said Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu. It's got doesn't have a TZU. Shih Tzu. It's SCHITZU, right?
Yeah, SHIHT.
Yeah, Shih Tzu.
No, see, I can't. I'm gonna actually say it if I try to say it like that, because I'm gonna mess it up.
I'm sorry.
And then I'll have to. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. So okay, you understand. So yeah, check those out. Those are just now. Here's a little sidebar. They do occasionally. The language can get spicy. it's hilarious, but you don't want to
blast it in the office.
Yeah, AirPods, just make it all the way through or something,
Really, should you be watching social media in the office, though?
Hey, man, I'm not getting into that.
Okay.
I'm not getting into that. I work for myself. So,
got it. Okay.
So anyway. All right, so we're jumping back into what we did. We did what is an apology. Now we're going to say, what does forgiveness look like? And I mentioned on the last episode in part 1 that I had it's not a proprietary look on forgiveness, but I do forgiveness perhaps in a different way. Maybe not even in a completely healthy way, but it's in a way that I prefer to do it.
Tell me more.
So I've had the occasion at different times in my life to need to forgive someone, and with or without an apology, and typically with, I want things to go back to normal. Now, inside of your family, that's kind of the expected dynamic,
right?
You get, or your friend group, because you're friends, but that still doesn't mean that you're 100% in unison. The closer you are, the more likely you are to step on someone's toes, right?
For sure. Yep. Yeah.
So that's, that stuff will happen. But then there's these things that come along, and it's like, this is a true, genuine offense. It may have not been born out of an attack. It may have just been something that kind of organically happened that was just this big rub and this big blow up. And I've got a situation that's kind of, going on like that right now. And I've had things like that in the past. But the thing is, I had a guy, the offense took place, several years went by, and I have to give forgiveness. I don't wait, you don't wait for an apology, and that gets into kind of the, the spiritual component and the thing that the forgiveness is actually for the person forgiving.
And psychology. I think there's some acknowledgement. Your wife would know better than me.
Absolutely.
That forgiveness is necessary to sort of have
it's
healthy.
Very important component.
Yeah.
So anyway, with this forgiveness in place, I forgive the person. I'm not going to hold anything against them. When we encounter one another, I'm going to engage like it never happened.
Yeah.
Now, if it keeps happening or something, or it's this just absolute atrocity or something, maybe not. Okay. But in most cases, if you do something, you did something, and maybe you did or didn't apologize. And there was a few occasions where this dude knew he owed me a little, that's fine. But
Can you do that without the little hitch?
What?
In your, like, if you see the person, you're just treating him like it didn't happen, right? Like you're just, do you have that? Because I would struggle to do that without like a little hitch inside my sort of heart where I'm just like, I see you. I see you for who you are.
This is where it gets into that. So, maybe it's healthy, maybe it's not.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't.
Yeah.
And that may be because I want peace in the land.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm willing to, you don't have to make it right because the offense happened to me. I will say that it is okay. We move forward. Okay. Well, that doesn't bring the person into accountability.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't feel that like when you see the person.
Care.
Yeah. You don't
care.
You genuinely don't care. That's actually pretty awesome.
So this, that we had a few encounters. We live in the same town, so we're going to bump into each other. And, a few years went by and we're bumping into each other and travel in some of the same circles and just treat them like normal. Now, we used to go out to lunch a lot. Now, I'm not calling and hanging out, going to lunch and whatnot. I mean, so there is a difference in the relationship, but I don't trash talk him to anybody else or run him down or, stew on anything.
Right.
It's just dumb because this thing happened and things happen.
Right.
And people have their own things that they're dealing with that cause things to happen. All right. I have a choice to make, and it is, yes, I can be put in a spot of vulnerability where if I open the relationship back up, at least, even to the degree that we did, and have ourselves or have us interacting as though everything is just as it was, everything's, I could technically get hurt again. Yeah. And that's fine. So I don't put up any barriers or anything, but I don't know, this went on long enough, and the guy said, "Hey, can we go to lunch? I need to talk to you."
Okay.
I didn't really want to, but because I didn't want the uncomfortable side,
right? So you were drawing boundaries, new boundaries.
Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
But so we go to lunch, and he offers an apology. It was the best apology he could do at the time. It was sincere, and wholehearted from a limited capacity. So it was not comprehensive.
Right.
But the capacity that existed in the person to apologize was not a comprehensive capacity.
I mean, that's a pretty awesome thing that you can understand. I think that's a pretty mature,
I don't know,
holistic way of understanding it.
Because
I hold
grudges.
Oh man, and I've had the Holy Spirit's had to really work with me on that, because I never thought of myself as an unforgiving person. But I have that hitch.
Well, and that's so that, and I'll just say that there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I think that in the
I think there's something inherently wrong with unforgiveness.
No. I mean, in the wanting things need to be made right and being aware of that. Yeah. So there are going to be extremes. There's going to be a ditch on either side.
Right.
Under the ditch of nothing ever happened and we're best buds and I can go on.
You just turn into a carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's you will apologize for this and you will name the time and the day and the very hour.
And I will nurse it.
You had this offense and then I will make sure that your apology is sincere enough and okay, well, so there's a ditch on both sides.
That's a good point. It is.
And I by and large I think a lot of people are middle of the road. I'm going to be a little bit more to the carpet side. And not like I want to be a carpet or doormat, whatever you want to call it. That's not the thing. But it's that I don't need to make that person know how much they hurt me.
Right.
To forgive them.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
That's really good, man.
Yeah. And I want to forgive that person because then I'm not carrying that weight.
Right.
If I'm sitting there, this person has to know how much they hurt me. They have to know. Then now there's this duty. There's this requirement on me for forgiveness to be transacted. That there has to be there has to be this component where
it's like it's like vengeance. You want
almost. Yeah. And so you're like, all right, this person has to know how much they hurt me, and once they know that, then forgiveness can be fully transacted. For me, now that's a quick change. I'm not Jesus, okay, but the sentiments, the forgiveness that he gave when he was on the cross to the Roman soldiers.
Yeah.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He was bringing about forgiveness.
Yeah.
They did not understand the weight. Okay. They were also not saddled with the responsibility of that because of their ignorance. Okay.
Yeah.
So now there are times and places and different things. And so there are that's an isolated example, but I think it shows that forgiveness can be offered in certain situations where the most, that wasn't for Jesus, that forgiveness, that was for them.
Yeah.
But if I'm really, truly trying to invest and treat them in the best way possible, bringing them to a place of understanding or wherewithal or whatever, where they have to sit with everything, it may not be unhealthy for them to do that, but it may be hard on me to require them to come to the table in that fashion. Let them work that out with the Lord.
Right.
And I think that's kind of an example of what happened with the other guy, in that when I don't hold anything against you because crap happens, and because I get it, because I've received a ton of forgiveness, okay, and I want to offer it, in the same fashion. I'm not proud that I've been in situations where I've needed forgiveness. Right. Because I come in kind of bold and I can run my mouth and I can really piss some people off. Sorry, Mom. I really, and then I got to come back in and clean up, but people have given me a lot of grace and forgiveness to make those type of mistakes and have been quick to let me be restored.
Yeah.
And I want to afford that to other people because, again, if we can get past that animosity that might exist relationally between us, then, and this is a fellow ministry guy, right?
Yeah.
Then we can get back to our task at hand, which is doing the ministry, helping the world, being the hands and feet that we, the nomenclature that we use. And so I that's going to be, that's going to be my take.
Yeah.
And I've talked with other people, about that. I'm not inclined to really want to do, anything different or bring people, make sure that
I think that, dude, I think that's pretty much nailing it where I'm sitting. I think as much as I've been able to drop the bags of unforgiveness, like drop those weights, there are certain things that sort of track with my spiritual and psychological health.
Right.
Like it's like, you go and get a blood test or whatever. I just like,
I've had a few.
I just had to suffer through that recently because I'm a complete wuss when it comes to needles. So,
I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh, dude. They had to I was like a VIP at the clinic. They had to do it's horribly embarrassing, but it is what it is. So,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't go get blood tests, but every 10 years. But anyways, there's a certain things you can track.
Doctor wife. Holy cow.
Certain things you can track and get trends.
Yeah.
One of the things that tracks with my healing is my level of the ability to forgive things.
Yeah.
I am not one who I've always, so for most of my life, if you'd have asked me, I was like, oh man, it's cool. Like, don't worry. Like, I forgive you. Like, I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But inside, just like I do with myself, I'm keeping track.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's like a breakover point where I just like write you off internally. Right. I'm just like, all right, I'm done with you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
And maybe there's a point where that would be healthy. Like, that's a healthy boundary. It's like too many times. But like for me, it's just really about, no, man, you mess with this, you're done.
Yeah.
And because I never felt, I think that ties into like never feeling like strong as a man, right?
Yeah.
You never feel like you can be the guy that can scrap on the playground. You're always the guy that's getting your ass kicked and like all that. And it's like, well, internally I can kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like internally I'm going to hold this against you.
Right.
I can't do anything externally, but I kind of learned that mechanism.
Sure.
And it feels good on a level to hold something over someone.
Yeah.
Right. But it kills you in the end.
Yeah.
It absolutely destroys your mental and spiritual health in the end.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it does. It'll wreck you. Forgiving people, is with or without an apology.
Right.
Okay. You want the apologies to be sincere. But with or without an apology, forgiving someone is just essential to your well-being, because it can make you bitter.
Yeah.
And so you hear so many stories about, I didn't even know this person was mad at me.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that are oblivious. There's family relationships, where it's no good and well that, a couple brothers are mad at each other and they don't speak, or, brother and dad, or, brother, son, mother, whatever. And so that you might know that those things take place, but put the forgiveness out there.
Yeah, I think those situations are so tragic.
Yeah, and biblical scholars don't get mad at me, but in the year of Jubilee that would come along every so many years,
which I think they only actually did twice.
Yeah.
Like, but they were commanded to do it.
There was a forgiveness.
They only
of debts,
actually did it like twice,
right?
I think. Yeah.
And so, and you hear, we have some stories about that, but don't require a person to owe you something.
Right.
Okay. Take that off their head. Take that off your book of record. Okay. And don't hold that person in that spot.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to waste the mental energy of.
Dude, and it does. It sucks a lot of mental energy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
But anyway, so that's, I think that's my take on forgiveness. It's you could say forgiveness, it's not for everyone, except it is. It's not easy to do, but it is so freeing when you can get to that other side. So I've been forgiven like that, and it makes you aware of the grace that you've received. I mean, I look, my parents, okay, they should have throttled down on me for some things, but that, or held me accountable, brought me into an account.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, whoa, okay, that was a ton of grace.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if I'm getting that from them, now you kind of look, well, what am I getting from the Lord?
Right.
Like,
When you really start, that's where it really starts to, when you really start to see the fact that he just stays in there in relationship with you, despite things that you're not even realizing.
Right.
Yep. It's pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have received so much grace from people. I've done, this is my 30th year working, volunteering, or, because mostly, but taking care of the audio visual technical needs of churches. 30 years. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm 44 years old. My parents used to drive me, to church to do this stuff. And, I have made a lot of people mad.
No.
Over the years. Oh, absolutely. Because I can make someone's blood boil quick. All right. And I can, that tongue can come out razor sharp. And, that's not a good trait. But I think of how many people have gone like, God loved that kid. Yes, I'll forgive him. And him grim his teeth and whatnot. Maybe not, but the forgiveness was given.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have walked on a bed, just an absolute red carpet of grace in so many places.
Yeah.
Because people have offered that to me, and I'm like, I never want to be the person that messes that up. And I can't. I mean, scripture. But it was the guy was forgiven. He had the slave, the guy that was working for him. He said, "I'm going to forgive you for all these debts." Right, and it was this huge sum of money. And so the guy that was forgiven turned around and said, "Hey, you owe me all this money."
And then threw the guy in jail.
Yeah, and then the guy that had forgiven the big debt was like, "What the frick?" All right, to jail with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy that goes to jail. I want to be the guy that forgives big, that forgives small, that forgives whatever. Yeah. Because I want to be a conduit of forgiveness and keep it going, because I've received so much of it.
That's good.
And if you hadn't pissed a lot of people off in your life, maybe it doesn't make as much sense to you.
I don't think there's anyone out there that hasn't pissed.
I have more than my average share. I have definitely done that. So anyway, but that's what I got on it. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, that concludes part 2 on the Apologies and Forgiveness Impromptu series that your wife wanted us to talk about.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kim, if you don't like that, I forgive you, and you can ask us a subset of questions, and we can speak to more of that.
That's right.
Whenever we get together again. All right?
All right.
All right. Y'all join us here next time for The Regular Dad.